So now I'm going to show you two ways how to use this spot healing brush tool. So for the first one, you just need to click one by one using the left click on your mouse like this. So as you can see, it does works like a magic. It does remove the watermark without leaving any kind of effects to the backgrounds. So now I'm going to show you the second way to use this tool, which is by click and hold the left click on your mouse and cover up that whole watermark like this. So as you can see, it just works like a magic without leaving any kind of effect on the backgrounds. And this is the first tool that I'm really suggesting and recommending for you guys to use it. Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, it's me again Faisal, and for today's tutorial I'm gonna be showing you how you can remove the watermarks on the pictures using Adobe Photoshop. So before we get into it, help me by subscribing my YouTube channel, also like this video. So with that being said, let's get right into our first part of the tutorial. So let's go. So first of all, you need to open the files into Adobe Photoshop, and now I'm going to show you a few ways where you can easily open the files into Adobe Photoshop. So for the first one, you just need to click and drag the files to the Adobe Photoshop, and then it will automatically open the files for you. And now I'm going to show you the other way to open the files into Adobe Photoshop, which is by opening the Adobe Photoshop. And once you're on the home page, you can either click Ctrl and O on your keyboard, or you can click on the open button in here, or you can also click on the file at the top here, and then click on the open to open the files to Adobe Photoshop. And now search for your files. After that, just click on open to open the files into Adobe Photoshop. So that is how you're going to open the files into Adobe Photoshop. And now I'm going to show you the easiest ways how you can remove these watermarks in the pictures using 3 simple tools that are found very convenient and also time saving. And it can also be used by the newcomers or the new editors that are using the Adobe Photoshop. So the first tool is called Spot Healing Brush Tool. So to use that tool, you can either click J on your keyboard, or you can go to the toolbar on the left and click on this icon which says Spot Healing Brush Tool. And if you click and hold your left click on your mouse in this tiny arrow on the bottom right of this icon, and it will show you out some other tools that is available for this kind of tools. So now don't get confused by choosing the wrong tools, which is Healing Brush Tool, because the Healing Brush Tool and the Spot Healing Brush Tool have an identical icons, but the difference is just with the dash lines. Actually, the Healing Brush Tool does the same thing as Spot Healing Brush Tool, but the difference is just when you're using this Healing Brush Tool, it's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of efforts to just remove that one watermark. So that's why I'm suggesting to use this Spot Healing Brush Tool, which requires less efforts and saves a lot of time for you to remove those watermarks. So now just click on this Spot Healing Brush Tool, and you can see your cursor turns into a circle which represents the brush tool. So to increase the brush size, you can go to the top left and click on this brush icon. So once you click that, you can able to increase the brush size, the hardness, the spacing, angle, roundness, and so much more. So if the watermark is bigger than the brush size, try to increase the brush size a little bit to make it easier for you to remove it later on. So once you have done that, just close it. And then make sure the brush mode is set to normal, and also the type of the brush is set to content aware. So after that, you just need to cover up or select this watermark using Spot Healing Brush Tool. So to precisely select or cover up that watermark, you need to zoom in. So to zoom in, you can click Ctrl and plus on your keyboard. And if you wanted to zoom out, you can click Ctrl and minus. And if you want to fit on screen, you can click Ctrl and 0. And if you want to move it, you can either click H on your keyboard, or you can just go to the toolbar on the left and click on this hand icon to use the hand tool. And now you can move to wherever you want. So now I'm going to show you two ways how to use this Spot Healing Brush Tool. So for the first one, you just need to click one by one using the left click on your mouse like this. So as you can see, it does works like a magic. It does remove the watermark without leaving any kind of effects to the backgrounds. So now I'm going to show you the second way to use this tool, which is by click and hold the left click on your mouse and cover up that whole watermark like this. So as you can see, it just works like a magic without leaving any kind of effects on the backgrounds. And this is the first tool that I'm really suggesting and recommending for you guys to use it. So now I'm going to show you the second tool, which is called marquee tool. So to use that tool, you can either click M on your keyboard, or you can go to the toolbar on the left and click on this rectangular marquee tool. And same goes here as well. If you click and hold the left click on your mouse in this tiny arrow on the bottom right of this icon, it's going to show out some other options that is available on this kind of tool. And if the watermark in the pictures have a different shape, you can click on this elliptical marquee tool. And if you have a text on a horizontal line, you can use this single row marquee tool. And otherwise, if the text is on the vertical ways, you can use this single column marquee tool. So now I'm just gonna go with the rectangular marquee tool. So now what you need to do is just click and hold the left click on your mouse and then cover up that whole watermark like this. So if you want to change the position of this selection while you're holding your left click on your mouse, click and hold the space bar on your keyboard, and then you can drag the mouse to change the position of the selection. So once you have satisfied with the position of the selection, you just release the space bar, and then while you're holding your left click, you can just resize it. So once you have done resizing the selection, you just need to release the left click, and now you'll see this kind of animation going around, which is like a snake animation. So now what you need to do is that you can either click Shift and F5 on your keyboard, or you can just go to the edit and click on the fill and make sure the contents are set to content aware. And if you want to change the contents, you can click on the down arrow in here, and you can see some other options available for the contents. So just click on the content aware. So under the blending options, make sure the mode is set to normal, and also the opacity is set to 100%. So once you have done that, just click on OK. So you can also use this tool to remove the watermarks as well. So to deselect that selection, you can either click Ctrl and D on your keyboard, or you can just click it anywhere in the backgrounds. And now I'm going to show you the last tool, and this tool can only be used if your background color doesn't matches with the colors that is in the watermarks, and I will show you how it's like. So for instance, at the top here is the watermark, and now I'm going to remove it using this third tool. And the last tool that I'm going to show you right now will only work if your colors that is in the copyright doesn't matches with the colors in the backgrounds at all. And it doesn't matter if your background color have a plain color like this, or if you have a lot of stuffs in the backgrounds, it doesn't matter as well. As long as the colors in the backgrounds doesn't matches with the colors in the copyrights, you can use this tool. So now I'm going to show you how to use this tool. So first of all, you need to go to the select and click on the color range. So you can check either your subject or your watermark that you want to remove has been selected or not by referring to this color in this small screen, which the black color represents something that's not been sampled or not been selected, and the white color is something that's been selected. So if you have multiple colors to add in the watermark, you just need to click this tool with plus icon with an eyedropper on it. So once you click that, now you can add the colors that is in the watermark. So to do it, you just need to click it like this to add the samples of colors. So what if you have accidentally added the wrong color like this? So how to remove it is by clicking this minus icon with an eyedropper on it. And then you just need to click on the wrong sampled color like this. So once you have done that, now you can click on OK. So now you can see the watermark has been selected. So now what you need to do is that you need to expand the selection by 2 to 3 pixels so that you can get the smoothest and the cleanest output when you remove this watermark. So to expand that selection, you need to go to the select and then click on the modify. After that, click on the expand. So in the expand selection, expand it by 2 to 3 pixels. After that, click on OK. As you can see, your selection has been expanded. And now for the final step, or for the final process, go to the edit and then click on the content aware field. So in the content aware field, you can see the preview, which is the output from the selection that we just did. So to zoom in to the preview, you can click Ctrl and plus on your keyboard, or you can use the slider on the bottom and click and drag it to the right to zoom in. or to the left to zoom out. Or you can even use the percentage in here and change it by numbers to zoom in or zoom out. And then if you want to change the output, you can go to the output settings, and under the output settings you can go to the output 2 and click on this down arrow beside here. So once you click that, you will see 3 options, which is the first one is called current layer, which is gonna replace the current layer with this final output. And the second one is called new layer, which is gonna make a new layer for this output. And the last one is called duplicate layer, which is gonna duplicate the layer. And then make sure you select the new layer just to make sure if anything happens to this output, you still have a backup for it. After that, just click on OK. So to deselect that selection, you can either click it anywhere in the backgrounds, or you can click Ctrl and D on your keyboard to deselect that selection. And as you can see, the output was very clean and very smooth without leaving any kind of effects in the backgrounds. So let me show you how it looks like before we start our editing. So this is the before we start removing the watermark, and then this is the after we done removing that watermark. And as you can already see, the watermarks have been removed perfectly without leaving any kind of effects in the backgrounds. So there you have it guys, you have successfully removed the watermarks in the pictures using Adobe Photoshop. So that's all for today's tutorial, and if you found this tutorial useful for you, please give a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like my Facebook page, and don't forget to follow me on my Instagram so that you can get notified whenever I'm gonna upload the upcoming videos. And if you want to learn more about the editings, click on the cards at the top right. So that's all for today's tutorial. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.